you're a sports fan, I don't have to tell you how important that mobile device is becoming to the way you follow your team or the way that you engage with your team. With me to talk more about that is Simon Wardle. He is the Chief Strategy Officer of Octagon Worldwide, and they've conducted some tremendous research on not only why are fans, but how are we fans and how are we interacting with our brands. And Simon, thank you for joining us. Tell me about what you've learned, multinational study, tens of thousands of people. What are we doing with that device and how does it relate to our teams?
Well, I think one of the big findings that we found was no matter which market we looked at, the days of the couch potato are numbered. It's becoming a much more interactive experience, the fan experience, mostly because of that mobile device. And part of the reason why we designed this very elaborate study that we've now conducted in over 11 countries around the world was to help our clients and help ourselves understand, with all of these choices that consumers now have through technology, how are fans in the world in which we live in? Because historically it was easy. You were a fan in 5 ways. You either watched the games, you read about them, you listened to them on the radio, you attended, or you played the sport. Those 5 traditional ways were how you were a fan. Now, with the emergence of mobile technology and social media and digital content, those 5 consumption channels, you pick a number.
Well, give me some numbers then. I mean, if your second report, Passion Shift, is about this shift of behavior. So what did you see in that tells you, hey, mobile is it, and this is what people are doing?
Right, so we focused on 34 of those channels, 34 different ways, including the 5 original traditional methods of consuming the sport. And what we found was no matter which sport you looked at, over half the fan base are supplementing their at-home TV experience with the second screen. At the low end, you had baseball, which was 53%. Just over half of baseball fans were second screening. And then at the high end, you had sports like lacrosse and soccer, where we're seeing over 70% usage of that second screen to supplement that television experience. When you get into in-stadium experiences, then you're looking at over 3/4 of fans are using their mobile device in the stadium. Mostly are using them for something game related, be that as simple as a selfie. So, it's no longer a niche experience to use your mobile device to supplement every facet of your sport, because actually if you look at those 5 traditional consumptions, mobile technology is now impacting all 5 of those traditional ways. So clearly we're using it to enhance our television experience, we're using it to enhance the attendant in-stadium experience. When you look at print media and what those outlets are doing from a digital perspective and from an apps perspective, mobile technology has reinvented the fan experience when it comes to those traditional print media.
And is there something about ages? I mean, like my kids. I mean, my kids range in age from 25 or 25 to 31.
Yep.
As opposed to somebody my age, which I don't think old, but older certainly.
And I think that's why you see sports like soccer and lacrosse at the higher end of interactivity. And baseball, which you'd think, given the nature of the sport, it's not exactly the fastest moving sport. There's a lot more opportunity to second screen there, but I think, again, because of the aging demographic, we see that has an impact on how likely a fan base is to be at that interactive end of the spectrum. Because one of the interesting things we did was segment the fan base based on level of interactivity. So we actually identified 8 types of consumption behavior, starting with the couch potato. And right now in the US, there's still about 25% of people who are couch potatoes. And really, it's a very sedentary, passive consumption of sports material, all the way up to the super fans. And what we found was when you get up to the 6th, 7th, and 8th fan typology, you're representing about 30% of the population. And those guys are the ones who are regularly using social media to feed their passion. They're using digital. They are gaming, they're fantasy. The higher you get up that level of interactivity, the more of those alternate channels they're using to feed their fandom.
So, go ahead, I'm sorry.
And that's really exciting from our client's perspective, because one of the interesting things that came out of Passion Shift was not only are you, so traditionally, as sponsors, the belief was target the avid fans, because those are the ones who are most emotionally invested in the sport. Therefore, we're more likely to be able to change their behavior than the more casual fans. And every piece of research that we've done over the years has kind of reinforced this notion of the more avid you are, and avid typically is a self-reported, how big a fan are you on a 10-point scale or a 4-point scale or whatever it might be. What's fascinating about when you look at this spectrum of how interactive a fan you are, there's actually a stronger correlation between the use of mobile technology and social and digital. That level of interactivity is actually a better predictor of how likely a fan is to change their purchase behavior and have a predisposition to supporting sponsors and the brands, which in the case of Octagon, where we're trying to help our clients sell more stuff to fans.
That's the end of the rainbow, right? So
Exactly.
As a brand, what am I going to pull out of Passion Shift? If I were a company looking to reach, in the mobile environment, what am I going to learn from your study?
The importance of these digital and mobile platforms. I mean, sports marketers aren't always the most progressive of marketers and embracing new technology. But part of the research that was eye-opening for them was just seeing that having a strong presence and adding to that fan value through these interactive channels and mobile devices, you are putting your brand in an environment that's target-rich in terms of brand love. The fans that are using these alternative devices are the fans who are going to reward you for investing in something that they care passionately about. That's the business we're in, is passion. And so understanding the dynamics of this passion shift from a traditional media to a mobile-dominated world is important for us and for our clients, because it really has reinvented the fan experience.
Well, again, the name of the research project is Passion Shift, Octagon Worldwide, and Simon Wardle, the authors of that. And thank you for joining us and sharing the insight, and good luck with putting that into practice. I think you have a gold mine of information there.
Yes, we do. Thank you very much for your time, John.
Pleasure.